there's the yada yada. The Carol Iron is big fans of court and what they interpret and what they don't, and what the statute tells them to do, all that crap. Basically, what you need to know here is the VA in SMC. Well, let's back up. For TBI, traumatic brain injuries, the VA has noted that they can cause disabilities. It can be disabling to a point that's more than 100%. And so extraordinarily disabling. So what they've allowed for is a special monthly compensation just for TBI.
Brand new in the last few years.
It's been about 5 years. Yeah,
that's
new. Okay. So it's called SMCT. And basically what that says is that if you require a certain amount of aid and attendance or care due to the TBI, then you're granted this special monthly compensation T. We've talked about here how there is a plethora of different special monthly compensations. The beauty of this special monthly compensation T is it goes right to the top of the pay scale, which I think in today's dollars,
$10,500.
$10,500. Okay. It's the equivalent, as Carol said, of R2. And to get R2 is extremely difficult. You got to have loss of use of multiple limbs, blindness, extreme need for aid and attendance. So the question was, they were comparing VA.
Well, the need for aid and attendance that was so difficult is it had to be a medical aid and attendance.
Right.
So you could get aid and attendance for helping you dress, bathe, that kind of stuff. But then in order to get R2, you had to show that you needed aid and attendance like IVs, helping you put on prosthesis, things that a doctor or a medical provider would do, which made it really hard with TBI. But they wrote that into their regulations.
Yeah. So what
the Haskell case said.
Yeah, what the Haskell case said is that you do not need this extraordinary level of aid and attendance. You basically just need to show that due to the TBI, you need aid and attendance. So what I want to do is, let's put this over here, is go through their aid and attendance sheet. This is the aid and attendance form.
You make it bigger? Is that all?
Can't make it bigger for you. It's unfortunately it's just over here. So it's a 3-page form. Okay. This is just filling out your information. This is talking about where you've treated, what disabilities you have that are considered permanent total. This is for aid and attendance, regular aid and attendance, what's called SMCL. Okay. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is that if you have a TBI and the TBI is causing you to need aid and attendance, just get your doctor to fill out this form. Okay. And it's page 3 that's the most important, right? So we're looking at these questions. Is the patient confined to their bed? What are the hours? And then I consider question number 27, frankly, the most important. Okay, this says, does the patient require assistance of any of the following activities? These are called ADLs, activities of daily living. Do they need assistance bathing and showering, eating, self-feeding, dressing, ambulating within the home or living area, tending to hygiene needs, transferring in or out of bed chair, toileting, medication management, and additional activities? Basically, are there other things that they need care for every day? Cooking.
And remember all the things that he read. It's not only can they do them, is will they do them? Do they have to be reminded? Do they have to be forced to do that? They don't want to bathe. They don't understand what's going on with them. And that's usually what you see. They may have the physical ability to do it, but they don't even think to take a shower. They forget to eat. They don't
to take their medicine.
Take their medicine. That's what you usually see and what you want to have pointed out.
So these are the things you need to focus in on if you feel like you have a TBI that causes the need for basically somebody to be helping you day in and day out. Okay. And the beauty of the Haskell case is instead of this just being SMCL, which pays what, $4,300?
No, it's about
$4,700 a month. Okay, that's basic aid and attendance. Basic aid and attendance for TBI now equals SMCT, which, as Carol said, was about $10,500 a month. Okay, so this is a massive change. It's a great change in the case law. Basically, the court said that the VA was imposing too high of a burden on what Congress mandated for this special monthly compensation. So this is something that if you have TBI, you need to look at, because the difference in compensation is huge. $3,700 for 100%. Is that what it is?
No, for 100%, $3,700. For the regular aid and attendance, $4,700 to $4,800. for SMCT, $10,500 a month. And I'm pulling all of my cases out because we've been fighting this, and we've only gotten maybe 4 SMCTs with all our cases and our line of work because the VA has been vicious about this. But there's so many people who need it. I am thinking right now, one that I can't wait to work on. He says when he leaves his house, and he has lived there for years, the only way he can find his way home is his dog helps him get home. I mean, but he doesn't need extraordinary medical conditions. But that's the kind of thing that we're looking for, because that's what this whole thing is for. That's an extraordinary disability. So any of you who know people like that or have that, this is a whole new ballgame. We are really excited about it. In fact, when someone asked last week about this case, I don't remember the case names very much. I just remember what the law was. And I had meant to talk about it. And then when I looked at it, I realized, oh, that's what the guy was talking about. So this is great news. There have been some bad cases that came out, but this is one of the really good ones that came out from the NOVA seminar.
This is, and as Carol said, these are the kind of cases we tend to take because we know the VA is going to deny these, frankly. I still bet, unfortunately, that the regional office is going to deny this because it's just easier for them to do so. So even with this new law, I foresee us having to take a lot of these cases up to the court, or excuse me, hopefully not to the court, but at least to the Board of Veterans Appeals. And so, you know, these are cases that we've been seeing a lot. We have several hundred that we're working on right now. You know, and these are cases that we highly recommend you follow what's on this sheet here. Okay. Get your doctor to do this. Send it in the VA. If they're not granting you these benefits and you need help, you know, we'd love to help you on this because we see them trying to keep your money.
Infuriating. I mean, because it's like we read these cases and our first thing is, this is great for the veteran. How's the VA going to screw this up?
Right. So, you know, hopefully they don't. Again, arm yourself with this form. What's the name of this form? It's 2680 is the name of the form, 21-2680. Take it into your doctor, get him to fill it out. Make sure that in the second page here at the bottom, they're on question 18, what disabilities are considered permanent totally disabling? That's where I'd want to see
traumatic brain injury
in there.
Period.
Yeah, and
nothing else.
Don't put the other disabilities in there because the VA is going to jump on that and say, oh, well, you can't get SMCT. Maybe you can just get SMCL. We don't want to confuse the VA. Okay, if the TBI is causing problems, going back to question 27, as far as where you need assistance, and again, think about what Carol said. If there's a mental component, which most likely there is with a TBI, and it's causing, you know, can't find your house, can't remember to turn the stove off, can't remember to take a bath. Those are the kind of things we're looking at. Okay. What is your spouse doing? What is your loved one in the house doing to make sure you can get through your day that you can't do by yourself? Okay. So that's what I think you need to write down. Get this filled out, send it in. Hopefully the VA gets it right. If they don't, make sure you're at least appealing to the board. You know, we will continue to update what we see on this. And when we see the VA hopefully conceding the benefits they should be giving based on this regulation. But we intend that we will have to fight these all the way because it's such a huge amount of money.
They are not going to want to do this.
Congress has said the veteran's entitled to, but the VA does not want to pay.
Here's another thing that I add at the bottom. When I want the doctor to say when he was in need of this aid and attendance, how long has this been going on? Because if you don't, the VA will, if they give it to you, they're going to start at the date they sign that form. So definitely say,
that's a great point.
These have been limitations in effect since
whenever.
Okay.